Welcome back to Street Switch Photography. We're here to watch Billy Bullshit doing his thing yet again. Let's do this.
Street Switch Photography.
So, welcome back to Street Switch Photography. This is the conference from Labour in Liverpool. This is Keir Starmer, who's live at this very second in time. I might have missed half of it, but I'll pick up on the rest a little later on. But let's see what he's got to say and what bullshit is going to come out with this time. How many times is he going to mention Reform UK, Nigel Farage, seeing as he lives in their head, totally rent-free? And how many times are they going to call people racist, fascists and other disgusting names?
Thank you, Conference. The basic, ordinary hope of a better future for our children restored for millions. And through that,
a better future for our children under Labour and Keir Starmer's government, with a bunch of Pakistani raping gangs running around, doing whatever they want, jumping over, school fences and making kids get under the tables and everything else while the parents stand outside absolutely shitting themselves, wondering what's happening, why two-tier policing takes place outside while somebody's tearing a Union Jack out of somebody's hand that's protesting and just standing there saying how much they love Britain. Yes, right, Keir Starmer, we believe every single fucking word you say, don't we? Of course we do.
A Britain that has rediscovered the belief, the togetherness, the pride.
In your own mind, my friend, in your own mind.
To take control of its hope of a two-state solution, a safe and secure Israel, alongside the long-promised Palestinian
state. A safe and secure
state.
Israel. A safe and secure Israel. So we're talking about Gaza. Okay, so we've just realised that Keir Starmer has actually recognised Palestine as a state, therefore it wasn't a state before. And within that Palestine state is let's just say a group in control called Hamas, who are a prescribed terrorist organisation. And Keir Starmer accepts them as a state. Well done, mate. You congratulations, you fucking nut job.
A state that this country now recognises.
There you go. He recognises a terrorist organisation. They are in control of Gaza and Palestine. What does that tell you?
Conference, I will never give up on diplomacy. And I will never doubt British values.
Yes, you will. You hate Britain. You are a racist fucking bigot.
In need. Respect for difference under the same flag. The freedom to live and let live. I will never doubt that...
I'd just like to add, socialism, secular society, diversity and inclusion has never worked in any other country on the planet. Socialism hasn't worked. So why is Great Britain so fucking special? Because this twat here is a communist Marxist wanker. That's why, hence the song Keir Starmer's a wanker. This is the reason that everything is going to go to shit, not that it already hasn't, in Great Britain, because of this idiot here. Likes to call everybody racist that disagrees with him. That's the only slur he knows.
These values make us strong. They're losing faith. They're ground down. Politics has made them question Britain.
No, wrong.
But time and again...
It hasn't made them question Britain at all. It's made them question who is controlling Britain, who's got the hands on the puppet strings and controlling people like him. This gullible, empty-headed, complete and utter fuckwit.
Politics ducked the challenge of renewal. Their high street, their pubs, their youth clubs, the places that shape a life, that create...
Do you mean all the pubs that have shut down over the past 10 years, Keir? Are they the ones, or the ones that you're just banned from?
It's a common memory, struggling against the tide of decline. That is why we must never, never find ourselves defending a status quo that managed...
Oh, there he goes again, mentioning the band. Status quo. That's all he fucking knows. This man's vocabulary is lower than mine, and I've got a very low vocabulary. Even the word vocabulary, I haven't got a clue what the fuck it means.
Failed when a new Britain should have been born.
And this guy's a lawyer.
Complacent. That's the only way to describe it. Complacent.
You'd know what that word means, wouldn't you, Keir? Complacency of letting illegal migrants enter the country illegally, go into a hotel illegally, working illegally, raping children illegally, harassing women illegally. It's your favourite word, you should know that being a lawyer, mate.
We place too much faith in globalisation, the establishment across so many institutions, the world always on hand to give us the goods. It doesn't matter if our industry leaves. It doesn't matter if we don't train our young people. It doesn't matter if wealth creation is hoarded by just a few communities.
Oh, he is talking complete and utter bollocks, isn't he? I mean, you look at it, I mean, you think to yourself, that bloke's definitely got a fucking calculator and a brown paper bag collection back at home, hasn't he? Definitely. That's his favourite pastime. How much more boring could you get? This bloke is a complete and utter fucking robot. You can just tell he's been programmed by the Marxists to say what they want him to fucking say.
Well,
AI's more appealing than him.
Look at our world now. Because in our age of insecurity, we can see now that it does matter. We do need to put our security first.
We don't, do we? Oh, wow, I never knew that.
Every town and city on these islands.
So this speech is about, supposed to be about, a new Great Britain. And this is the man to do it. This is the man to do it with his secular society, with his diversity and inclusion. The same guy that thinks a girl can have a penis. The same guy that thinks a bloke can get pregnant. The same guy that didn't do his research and would realise that Palestine was never actually a state and never existed. The same guy that's just basically supported Hamas and then decided to call everybody fucking racist in his last speech, along with Miss Mahood, who decided to call everybody a pea basher. And one of his other MPs, I think it was an MP, I can't remember which town or city it was in, liked to call everybody that was on that march on the 13th of September a nonce. These are the people we have in control of this country. These are the people that we will now, well, we're going to have to trust them with our ID and every single bit of information about ourselves. I get the feeling that most people are basically going to turn around and just say two lovely words that are in the English dictionary: fuck and off.
It comes back to growth. So an economy that grows not just from the top but from the grassroots, because growth is the
economy does not grow from the grassroots. Economy has been trickled down for years. Even under the Tory government, it's been a trickle down policy from the top down, never from the ground up.
pound in your pocket. It is more money.
You've got £1 in your pocket because they will be telling you how much you can spend and what food you are allowed to buy that particular day with your facial recognition on your phone. And then if you've bought something that you might be allergic to, you'll have to go and scan and then do this fucking fingerprint bullshit before you can get an NHS appointment after 8 weeks. You'll probably be fucking dead, especially if it's a peanut allergy.
For trips, meals out, the little things that bring joy to our lives, the peace of mind that comes from
I totally agree. He will go down in history. Shout out to people commenting at the moment. This is trying to figure out who's who because my eyes are absolutely awful. He'll go down in history as a great leader, but as a traitor. Does that say great? I don't think so much of the great as shit.
economic security. But it is also the antidote to division. That's the most important aspect of national renewal.
Why is the country divided at the moment, and who are we divided from? Let's work this out. They say 150,000 people turned up to the march on the 13th of September, when in fact it was closer to 3 million. Then they turned around and said that those 3 million people were all far-right activists, all protesting because they're racist. It wouldn't have been families, it wouldn't have been grandmas, granddads, people with their children. Okay, now let's look at some statistics. There was also a far-left protest that day by Palestine Action, Stop Racism, Antifa and others, of which 15 were arrested. Do you know? And that they were in their thousands. I think there was about 3,000, 4,000 of them. And 13 to 14 of them were arrested. 3 million. Guess how many were arrested from what they like to call the far right? 8.
The way you grow an economy in our past, facing down the threats of a volatile world.
That you created.
And it is a choice. You can exploit assets. You can balance the books by cutting long-term investment. You can cut taxes for the few.
Then why have you raised them? And you've only raised them for the poor. Whilst you go and buy your mum and dad a fucking donkey field and then pretend that it wasn't a fucking, you know, a gift of some description or in some sort of trust. Him being a lawyer would have known that it would have been a verbal trust that they put it in and is still fucking tax dodged. Yet one of his own had to resign for it. Do you think he'll resign? No.
Whilst dismantling the infrastructure for the many. But the
There's no infrastructure to dismantle, you twat.
affordable homes that we built, the libraries that we opened, say with one clear voice that public investment.
They haven't opened any fucking libraries. They haven't opened any. They were already there, you numpty. What the fuck is wrong with him? Was this man kicked in the head as a fucking child or what? What the hell?
Investment does not crowd out private. That we should invest more outside London and the South East. And that a more secure labour market with stronger workers' rights will be better for productivity.
Because basically Labour have always been for the unions. Now, when they're being for the unions, you do get a lot of unions that come up on protests and things like that, and they tend to be far left unions. The Unions Workers' Party, for instance.
And conference, you can choose to rebuild our public services. Choose investment over austerity. That's the choice, a hard choice. Difficult decisions on taxation.
And you're the man to make them. Fuck off.
But conference, that's the choice that we made in the long run. Fixing our public finances, investing in new infrastructure, helping our public services off their knees. That will be better for growth.
It makes your fucking ears bleed.
But equally important, because of your contribution.
Now just make it clear that he hasn't written this speech himself. Somebody's done it for him. Hence, in one of his other speeches, he said, "Free the fucking sausages." The person that written that speech was an absolute genius.
We've taken a huge step on the path of renewal, a firmer foundation to take our country forward. More security, more respect, more opportunity. A Britain built for all. A Britain built...
How about a Britain built for British people? You know, like veterans who are living on the streets while fucking migrants are staying in 4-star hotels, being given 4 meals a day. How about that, Keir Starmer? Instead of hating the white British Christian public.
Built for all. Every decision. Every decision conference. We want to invest in that reputation, in those skills, in the...
You fucking think you've got a reputation? I'll tell you what your reputation is. The most hated man in the UK. The most hated ever. That takes a fucking lot to achieve. That's what you've done. This man is the most vile specimen that has ever walked in Great Britain. He's more hated than Margaret Thatcher. He's more hated than Liz Truss. How is he even stood at that fucking podium with his snotty little fucking face saying what he thinks he can do for this country and what he thinks we need? He has got absolutely no room for manoeuvre to tell anybody what to do. He is a disgusting individual. He is the fucking devil itself, along with Tony Blair and David Cameron.
Talent of Glasgow and the Clyde.
I don't think he even knows the meaning of the word patriot and what these raise the flags is supposed to be doing. He just calls every fucker racist. He just calls everyone racist because they're concerned about something. And that's what he tells the rest of his party to do, like Miss Mahood and David fucking idiot Lammy. Now, some people don't like the way I talk on my channel. Some people don't like the truth. Some people don't think I should be spouting this crap on social media. But when somebody like him comes on the telly and somebody like him comes on my Facebook and starts giving it the fucking gob and nobody else is actually saying anything, this is what winds me up, because this isn't just our future now, it's our children's future. And that, to me, is a problem. That is a massive problem, especially with this new ID app that they're thinking about bringing in. That is not going to happen. I don't think it will happen because I don't think people will conform to it. And they shouldn't. They should get along and sign that bloody petition. 2.5 million.
Now, conference. 5 days after that deal, I went to the shipbuilding yard on the Clyde.
The shipbuilding yard?
I went to the canteen, where the workers...
Where my dad made the tools.
...answer to the mantra that they heard. People who said British shipbuilding was dead.
That's because it is. You fucking idiot.
Told me how much it meant to them and their communities.
Reopen the coal pits, then. Reopen the fucking oil rigs. Get drilling. Drill, baby, drill. Do you think he's going to say that?
And they were proud because they knew exactly what those frigates were for. And they were proud to contribute. Proud.
Is he going to try and open a new shipyard so we can build ships to bring migrants over from France, so then he thinks he's got all the votes in the world to keep him in fucking power? Even the fucking people on the far left beginning to hate this twat.
And conference. Or take our investment in childcare. 30 hours free for every child between 9 months for decisions at the last budget. Now, this will help parents and carers back to work.
Whilst you can get the people coming into the schools to fondle the children. Yeah, of course it'll help.
Especially women. And that is good for growth. But
growth of what, Keir?
Fundamentally, it's for the children. Now, last year, Bridget...
He's sitting there right now in his head every time he says the word child. Every time he says that word child, he's like, lovely, 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 jingle, jangle, jewellery, lovely, lovely, touch it, touch it.
And I went to a primary school.
We all know. We all know.
And we got talking to the reception teacher.
It was a joke. Come on.
Said that
fucking
some
hell.
kids arrive in reception reading books. Others are still virtually in nappies. There's similar stories right across the country. Inequality at age just 4, baked in for life. That's National Renewal Conference. That's why we made the tough decisions. To protect us for renters, sick pay for the least well-off, fire and rehire finished, 0-hour contract scrapped, record investment in Scotland and Wales, rebuilding our schools, new homes, new towns, new train lines, publicly owned of course, spreading prosperity right across Britain. And a proper living wage conference.
Fucking hell, he's a bit energetic, ain't he? Sounds like Hitler.
The culmination of a long journey for our movement, a mark of a Britain.
Nobody outside the room is cheering for you, Keir Starmer. Nobody.
Built for all. Thank you, Conference.
How much do you want to bet that everybody in that room was told to cheer?
That we must also take up, Conference. It strikes to the heart of what we stand for and who commands skill, the craft, the precision that goes into tool making.
Ooh, tool making. Said the tool stood on the fucking stage. Your dad was a tool maker. Is he going to mention it, maybe?
Now,
The precision, the tool, the precision that is required to make the Metropot. Fucking hate him. I hate him.
I thought about this when I visited those frigates.
Oh, be careful.
on the Clyde. The apprentices there, they took me on board. They showed me how they were rewiring it. Miles and miles of wire. Difficult, high-skilled work. Really complicated. And, of course, vital for
And a job that you could never fucking do.
our country. I thought about my sister, a care worker. She worked
He is a tool, yeah. He's a total twat. An absolute, complete and utter fucking moron. Him and a bottle of Bud have both got something in common. They're both empty from the neck up. What he wants to do is get his Ukrainian boyfriend to stick his cock in his ear and fuck some sense into him.
works with adults with Down syndrome. It's amazing work. I know I could never do it in the way that she does. Also vital for our country. And then I think about my brother. He was failed. He had difficulties learning. He was badly failed by the education system.
It's to stop British culture. They want rid of it. This big replacement theory, conspiracy theory, is true. If they can get cheap labour, they can keep more of the money in their own pockets. Look at him. Penfold looking motherfucker. I mean, I absolutely hate this man. Everybody in Great Britain does, and he doesn't even realise it.
He was put to one side, barely even seen. Our conference, not me. No, what I want is a Britain where people are treated with the dignity that they deserve for
What? With the dignity that they deserve. Veterans sleeping on the streets, women being harassed by illegal migrants, children being raped by illegal migrants, arrests happened, right? People going to prison for Twitter posts, Facebook posts, memes, and you go and say that.
making different choices, choices our country needs, choices we should value, choices that deserve our respect.
Please, whoever's on this channel right now, go and watch my previous video on digital ID after this. It will make a lot of sense. It needs fighting back against. And how to do it, I don't know. There's loads of fucking videos out there at the minute about this. It's so important. This is the future of Great Britain, and he knows that this is the only way that he can actually win. And we need to shut this arsehole down as soon as possible.
And so, conference,
Fucking communists.
while you will never measure success in education, that ambition to get 50% of kids to uni,
Oh,
I
you'd
don't
love
think
that.
that's right for our times. Because an apprenticeship, what does it say to you? Do we genuinely, as a country, afford them the same respect? Because we should. But I can't help feeling that my dad was right. So conference, today I can announce we will scrap that target and replace it with a new ambition that 2/3 of our children should go either to university or take a gold standard apprenticeship.
A gold standard apprenticeship. Yet the lack of jobs at the moment. He's living in fucking cuckoo land, this man is.
Thank you.
Now, if you look outside of where he is stood, there is a mass protest going on as we speak. Because everybody fucking hates his guts.
Thank you, conference. Thank you. Thank you, conference. Thank you. I can also announce that further education, so long as Cinderella service, ignored because politician kids don't go there, with higher standards in every college, the quality of teaching raised, more apprenticeships, more technical colleges, and as Rachel announced yesterday, a new
Rachel thieves.
guarantee, training, work support, or an
And how much is this going to cost? They haven't got the figures. They cannot give you the figures for this. And who is going to pay for it? Yes, that's right, the taxpayer. And whose pocket is it going to come out of? That's right, the poorest, yet again.
apprenticeship for every young person struggling to find work. That's young people back, the class ceiling smashed, the grafters finally included in our country's highest aspiration. That's national renewal. That's a Britain built for all.
Warning, swear words coming. He is nothing but a cocksucking donkey rapist. That's it. End of.
I stand for conference. And let me tell you, I have had enough of lectures from self-appointed champions of working people who want to shred our public.
You mean the ones that are correct? The ones that are right, actually right about something. You refuse to listen to them. Hence, hundreds of people are now turning around and saying you cannot debate with a lefty because they will not fucking listen, because 90% of them are bastard narcissists.
Service, levelled down workers' rights, crashed the economy like Liz Truss. Politicians who lied to this country, unleashed chaos, and walked away after Brexit, who equivocate of Putin and Ukraine, who even now go to America and grub around for money, talking this great country down. No more.
What a fucking dickhead. Oh, he looks a bit constipated there, doesn't he? That's the face he pulls when he sees one of them Ukrainian boys with a Molotov cocktail. Exactly that face there, look.
Lectures from them. Because Labour is the party for working people. Labour is the party for national renewal.
Labour is the party for working people, yet we've got an all-time low of jobs.
Let me take you back.
Everything he's saying right at the end of this video, I'm just going to turn around and say, well, Keir, nobody wants it though. It's as simple as that. And it does not take even a fucking slight genius to work that out.
Back to 1996, Wembley, the old Wembley actually. I was there. It was that semi-final. Electric.
Coming from a man that couldn't kick a fucking football past it. Oh.
We're all singing with one voice. North and South, black and white, old and young, and England united by a flag that stood for all. Now, I'm not going to pretend I would enjoy it if England lost to Scotland or Wales. The Union does have some limits. But I can say, we are together, built so much together, a country forged by the solidarity of working people. So let's fly all our flags, conference, because they're our flags. They belong to... This is the time for bringing the whole...
So Northwest Outlaws has just made a very good point. It's so many kids that go to university and things like that and try and get these degrees that 90% of these degrees are fucking useless to them because they end up in some form of other work, end up in severe debt because of tuition fees.
Country together. That is how we will fight next year's elections.
They end up working in McDonald's or in a Subway somewhere or something like that, you know. So it's just another ploy to get money out of people. Let's put every fucker in debt, considering they've got no money. All right, what we'll do is we'll put them in debt and they're going to be the ones that are going to have to pay it back.
As patriots of our great nations, that's who we are. That's who Eleanor is.
That's who you are. That's who you are, not us. Do not speak for me.
What we stand for.
How fucking dare you?
Renew Wales, renew Scotland and renew Britain.
That nobody wants.
But then that's just the point. Because for me, Patriotism is about
You ain't got a clue what the fucking word means. You have not got the foggiest.
love and pride. About
You think it's about love and pride. It's to remember our forefathers that fought in the First and the Second World War to give us the freedoms of free speech, freedom of expression that we have today and the way we live. Brought up in a Christian country, not being persecuted for saying silent prayers, not being persecuted for holding a British flag, not being persecuted for putting a flag up on a fucking lamppost, not being persecuted for posts that someone's put on Facebook. That's what being a patriot means. You seem to think it means to bring in every other fucking person that's secondly a fucking criminal illegally and let them stay here illegally. That is not patriotism. It's racist, Keir Starmer.
serving an interest that is more than yourself, a common good. And the question I ask seriously of Nigel Farage and Reform.
There we go. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. And Nigel Farage and Reform UK, they should turn around, if they were allowed to do it, and turn around to Labour and Keir Starmer and just say, go and fuck yourself. No.
Is do they love our country? Do they
More
want
than
to
you.
serve?
A lot more than you. They love our country a lot more than you, mate. Believe me, a lot more than you. And so does each and every single individual within this country. This is left and right with your fucking bullshit ID cards.
Of our country, all of it, our beautiful, tolerant, diverse country, because that works in their interests.
Good.
Do they truly believe in our potential, in our brilliance, in all the innovative wonders of our economy, from clean energy to creative arts?
Yeah, net
Or for
zero.
business?
Let's talk about that, shall we? Net zero is bullshit. We are a small island compared to America, Russia, India, China. What dent do you think we are going to make on the world stage when it comes to clean energy? We need nuclear energy is what we need. So what's he going to do? Stand there with a fucking windmill on the top of his hat saying, I'm creating so many fucking megawatts per minute. What? I mean, the bloke's an absolute moron, let's be honest. He is an absolute, complete and utter Jimmy Savile loving moron.
Looks a little too modern. Do they say, as Farage said about Jaguar Land Rover, and
Yeah, how are Jaguar doing at the moment? And why did they go down even further? Due to their woke advert. That's the truth.
conference, when push comes to shove, do they really want to fix our problems and renew Britain?
You couldn't poke, let alone push or fucking shove. I've seen you punch a fucking boxing bag.
Or, as we've seen time and again, whether it's the SNP, the extremes of the left, or Reform and the Tories now, do they actually want Britain to fail? I think we know the answer to that question. So let me say this, because whilst we must come together to fight reform with everything that this...
Why just reform? Why aren't the Conservatives a bother to you? Why aren't the Green Party a bother to you? Why aren't the Liberal Democrats a bother to you? I'll tell you why. Because Reform are telling the truth as it is, and they know they have got a hard job coming up after the fucking shit show you've put on this circus stage. That's why. Every single thing he has said so far has been I've been able to pick it apart, and I don't claim to be any sort of public intellectual whatsoever, because I fucking well am not. But I do say it as it is and the way I see it. And some people might not like that, but offence is something taken, not something given. Now, with people like this, these narcissistic Marxist idiots, they will not listen to anybody else, and they will blame Reform for everything else. They've called Reform's policy racist without any evidence whatsoever. These are the only people spouting this type of rhetoric, which could be seen as hate speech.
movement has. We must go into that battle armed.
He'll be going back to his Fabian Society friends tonight saying, how did I do on the world stage right there in Liverpool with a massive protest outside? When little old me sat here on the internet with just 13 views, sitting here telling the truth about this twat on the screen, including myself.
Just with words and condemnation, but with action. And that means tackling all the problems that they prey upon.
He does talk enough wind to power a small city, correct?
All the problems.
Shout out North West Outlaws.
Now, soon after I became an MP,
Beats and
I
Tapes
went
is online,
to Oldham
people.
for a by-election up there.
Shout out to Beats and
I was
Tapes.
taken to a street to meet a woman who I was told had strong views on immigration. I knocked on the door. She invited me in.
Fucking hell. A day to come and knock on my door.
We had a cup of tea and a rich tea biscuit.
Oh, a rich tea biscuit. Fucking hell, yeah, he's never going to eat a hobnob because that's a man's biscuit, isn't it? Are you sure it was a woman that answered the door, though, Keir? Are you sure that woman didn't have a penis? Did you just misidentify somebody?
As we saw pictures of her at the wedding of her Asian neighbour, she was proud that she was her neighbour and her friend. Now, I'm not the most patient person, as anybody in my family will tell you. And I started thinking, what is it
The same man that took the picture of Margaret Thatcher down from his office because he felt like he was being stared at.
going on here? And then we finally got to it. She told me that a group of men from Eastern Europe had recently moved into her street. They sat on her. Then I realised what was really happening. And conference, what was really happening is that she, an ordinary working class woman from Oldham, a Labour voter, felt that she had to prove to a Labour politician that she wasn't racist before she could even bring up the issues in her community.
Don't call everybody racist
I
then,
carried
you
that with
fucking numpty. Don't call everybody fascist. Don't call everybody racist. Don't call everybody homophobe. Don't call everybody Nazi. Why do you think that actually happens?
Through all the bad years, conference, whatever our... Yet, conference, there are still some people who can't listen in good for asylum system, so long as we get the economy moving. I have to say to those people very directly, we will tackle this issue.
No, you won't, or you would have done it by now by leaving the ECHR and deporting every single illegal migrant that are in these hotels. That's what you should have done right at the very fucking beginning, instead of your bullshit Rwanda scheme that was brought in by the Tories, one in, one out scheme, what ID card bullshit. You could have done this months ago, the same as fucking Germany have done it, Italy have done it. So stop chatting lies. You are a fucking pathological lying twat.
The British people are opportunities for their children and an NHS that's fit for the future.
I've heard enough. I'll finish off this video a little bit later. This has been Street Switch Photography. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Go and hit the notification bell, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. I've paused the video here. I'll pick up on it a little later on. Bye for now.
Street Switch Photography.